Welcome back. WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and Baltimore Positive. We're positively into the bye week, and I think we all would have agreed, 5-2 when the schedule came out in April, and we're drafting the speedy wide receiver, and we're feeling good about the Penn State rush edge, and feeling good about all the offseason signings. We're going to get Ronnie Stanley back, and things are. Dennis Koulatsos joins us now from Coons Ford, Security Boulevard. And, this is our bye week get together. I wish we could feel better about what we saw on Sunday, but that was certainly a thud for the Lamar era and a thud going into bye week. And, I'm wearing red for Coons Ford today, maybe the red flag for what's ahead in the last 6-7 weeks of the season. There's no more Detroit on the schedule for them.
Yeah, no question about it, Ness. And I wasn't as excited a week ago over the victory over the Chargers. I recognized before John Harbaugh said it's a week-to-week league. And what you did last week has no bearing on what you're going to do this week. So for me, it wasn't a surprise. And at 5-2, all is not lost. Clearly, they have holes on the defense, the offensive line, penalties they have to clean up, but they certainly got outclassed by what seemed to be a younger, stronger, faster team in the form of the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, I mean, the Bengals historically, we go back to Carson Palmer, we go back to Andy Dalton and Marvin and the players they've had and the Chad Ochocinco's and the Tyler Boyds and the guys that have beaten the Ravens. I find it interesting when I saw some previews last week about Cincinnati, they called it Ravens Week. So in Cincinnati, they have a thing there that they call Ravens Week that we probably call Pittsburgh Week here, right? So it's interesting in the modern era over the last 20 years, whatever Marvin's left behind and Carson Palmer and all of those victories in the jungle and Monday Night Footballs and those end of the season disappointments for the Ravens. I don't know why we don't take the Bengals more seriously, but, Bruce Coslet's not there anymore.
He's not, and I worry about the defensive coordinator, all the talent they have on defense. And to me, never mind all the Star Wars statistics that Joe Burrows and his wide receivers put up. The biggest difference for me was that defense. They were able to contain the Ravens, and I thought the game was over when Lamar Jackson went around left end, got the ball down to their 26-yard line. I believe we were down 27-17 at that point, and they called it back with a holding call on Villanueva. I thought that was game, set, and match at that point. The momentum wasn't there. It shifted. And you got to take them seriously. They're a rising team. They're not a falling team, Ness. And I anticipate the next time they play the Bengals, you'll see the defense come out and play more zone coverage than blitz the heck out of him and leave the corners matched up one-on-one of those mercurial wide receivers.
I think there's something in the aftermath where we were kind of shocked by the Bengals. And I don't know that John Harbaugh was or Lamar Jackson or Wink Martindale or the people that do this professionally, because they had 6 games of tape on the Cincinnati Bengals and who they are right now. Certainly that kid at wide receiver that nobody's been able to stop, right? I think Chase is a great name because you're usually chasing him when you're looking at the back of his jersey. And I would just say from a fan standpoint, I'm on alert all of a sudden about it. I mean, I watched Joe Burrow do what he did a couple of years ago. I watched him get taken first, but I also watched the Bengals be the Bengals and, push Marvin aside and then bring the new guys in. It didn't go well early on. He got injured last year. It didn't feel like they drafted well around him on the offensive line. I didn't like our line play on either side of the ball. Our linebackers haven't been good for a long period of time. Marlon Humphrey, jury's still out. I mean, I'm not questioning how good they are. I'm questioning how good we are when we've played long stretches of the season behind. I watched the Colts play in the rain and get a pretty gutty victory out on the West Coast on Sunday night. And I thought, they kind of came in here and ran us around for 3 quarters. I mean, the fact that you're 5-1, you feel good about that. The Chargers thing was, you package that game and you feel so good about yourself after that apparently they felt too good about themselves.
Well, they did, but it happens. It's again, they can play 10 games and maybe the Ravens win 7 of them at this point because they're better coached. I don't know, but the Bengals, by the virtue of them being so poor and drafting so high every year, those number 1 draft picks, Nestor, they start to pay dividends. We saw that with the Jacksonville Jaguars in that infamous game across the pond many years ago when all those number 1 draft picks and the veterans Calais Campbell just put the smack down on the Ravens. And you know what? My opinion is the Ravens and the Bengals are still top 10 teams. They're at least at the upper third in the NFL in terms of power rankings, if you would. All is not lost. The bye week comes at a very good time. They get a chance to get healthier and put the thing together. And hopefully Pat McCary comes back and maybe we see Nick Boyle after the break.
You know, we talked about Stanley last week and the offensive line and where they are. What would you, from a grade standpoint, from an offensive line for what they want to do, which is run the football, right? If they can run the football, everything else takes care of itself when they're in 2nd and 2. They have not been able to do that. This is different. There's no cavalry coming. You know, Orlando Brown's not coming over the hill at right tackle. Marshall Yanda's not coming back. Ronnie Stanley's not coming back. As constructed as you see this moving forward, seeing Cleveland twice, Pittsburgh twice, Cincinnati again. We're going to see the Rams, going to see the Packers, going to see some real teams here after we get through this Vikings, Miami, Chicago. And that's certainly a ramp up. But I look at the potential for the team to say, what is the potential for them on their best day? We saw that against the Chargers last week. I keep calling San Diego. I'll probably be doing that the rest of my life. But for what they are at this point, on their best day, they're a B+. I mean, I'm being kind. I mean, based on what the offseason was, if you would have told John Harbaugh April 1st, this is going to be the team you're going to go fight with on November 1st, I would think he would look at this and say, whoa, what happened to half our team?
Yeah, I mean, I think all those are fair statements. But again, I caution everyone, it's still a week-to-week league. We saw the Tennessee Titans get off to a very poor start, and in successive weeks, they've taken down the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. So the team does have a lot of holes in it. They've got to get the offensive line going, or that goes hand in hand, we all know, with the running game. They've got to be able to open up holes and give Lamar time to throw. Lamar was under duress, and he can't be Superman every game. It's too much. It's a 53-man game. You can only play 11 at a time on the field. It's too much expectations, too high expectations on him. You look at the positive. Rashad Bateman had a great game, 3 catches, 80 yards. But we didn't see Jason Owe, did we? We didn't call his name. And it's a work
we
in
call
progress.
Marlon Humphrey's name far too much, right? I mean, he's supposed to be the best player on the team. He's been getting dragged around a lot here this year, and I think there's a little thing going around that he won't tackle you. Keep moving your legs. He'll spin off of you. And boy, he has to work on that. I mean, that's the first round. He wants to be a Hall of Famer. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to be – he's already paid, right? You know what I mean? He's already got all the confidence and all the swag and all of that, right? Now you got to go out and play in week 7, week 8, week 9. And getting dragged around for the month of October, probably not a good look for him.
But Marlon is a very good tackler. In fact, at Alabama and until this year for the Ravens, he's been a very short tackler, one of the best tacklers on the team. I think the problem with him is he tries to punch the ball out almost every time. So when you do that and miss, you get dragged around for 5, 10, 15, 20 yards on the field, and it's a really bad look. Even on the one pass he got beat chasing in the end zone, he still threw that punch last second, try to knock it out. But that's his game. But for the most part, maybe they need to talk to him about, listen, less punch out and more tackle. Keep the guy in front of you. That way he doesn't break away from you for 82 yards. I think that's the message. And the tackling, though, has been an issue for this team since day one this season. And for us that have watched the Hall of Fame players on the defense and top 1, top 5 defenses in our lifetime, this is really a strange environment, right? A strange sight to see at M&T Bank Stadium.
Dennis Koulatsos is here. He will be here on Thursday from 3 until 5, driving you home. I will be joining him. Luke will be joining him. It's a bye week around here. We're plenty of Halloween things going on. Our friends at Wise Markets threw all those ideas out this week. I'm soothing myself with ice cream right now, thinking it might make my back feel better. I got the Maryland Crab Cake Tour presented by the Maryland Lottery. We're doing that all over town. I got some make goods that we're doing here. And then you're out selling cars. Give me a little automobile thing. I saw a thing over the weekend about dealers saying they just didn't have cars on their lot. So I want to bring a little car conversation here to bye week, because a lot of people, the weather's changing right now. People are thinking, well, had a car 3-4 years, trade in. Where's all of that? Give me a little primer if I walk over on Security Boulevard right now.
Yeah, if you have a car that you're driving, it's worth more money now than it's ever been worth. Just like a house. It's the same thing as the housing industry. There is a shortage of vehicles out there, just like there's a shortage of homes. So your vehicle right now is worth more than ever. On the flip side, that we just don't have a ton of inventory. Where I typically carry maybe 1,000 new vehicles, now I have 100. but I still have 300 used vehicles on the lot. And so we're one of the biggest dealers on the East Coast, one of the biggest dealers in the nation. And people are amazed and shocked when they come to Baltimore Ford and see our selection. But most dealers' nests have a handful, and I'm talking a handful, 4 or 5 new vehicles in inventory right now, and they're going for a premium. It's just a scarcity index, and that's what's causing the prices to go up.
So if you come to get a car now, you'll get a car. You just might not get the exact color you want or the exact
Correct.
this or that. That's really where the shortage is, right? If I wanted blue, I might have to buy it in red.
It's just like crab cakes these days, or chicken. Everything is up. There's I don't know many commodities that aren't up these days in terms of price. No matter what it is, it's way up there. And if you want it, you just have to pay what the current market value is. It's as simple as that.
I saw the restaurant thing going around about just how much like frying oil is. You know what I mean? There's just
everything
stuff that napkins, like toilet paper, ketchup, whatever it is. Dennis is here. We'll talk. I'm trying to inflate my feelings about the Ravens here in the second half. Your optimism, for them, I well founded at 5-1. I am concerned about the linebackers. I am concerned about them getting passed on. I am concerned about the tackling. I mean, I'm concerned in general about the defense when they're going to see Kansas City, Buffalo, those teams in back-to-back ways, what the Packers might be able to do to them. The Rams got very creative. At the end of the year, they're going to see better punches than what the Lions could give them or what the Vikings are going to be able to give them 2 weeks from now. But I do feel like